Ever have those days when you're feeling on top of things, checking off boxes, crushing your goals, being a responsible human, and yet that nagging voice in your head goes, "Nope, not good enough. Try harder. You're still behind." Yeah, me too. I still get that sometimes. A few months ago, I had that day. I got everything done, work, family, even squeezed in a workout. I should have felt good, but I sat down on the couch and my brain just skipped right over all of that and went straight to, "You could have done more. You could have been more efficient. You wasted time and now you're wasting time thinking about it." Does that sound familiar? That never enough feeling? It sucks. So today we're diving into why that happens and, more importantly, how to break free from it. And don't worry, we're not going to talk about giving up your ambition. We're keeping the drive and motivation, but we're doing it differently. Welcome to Season 2 of the Mental Path Podcast. I'm Dr. Gretchen Gavero, a psychiatrist and therapist. I love blending medical science, psychology, and personal development. I truly believe that mental resilience isn't just for people in crisis. It's something we all need, and there are simple, practical strategies that help us think better, feel better, and show up better without stress or burnout. Last season, we built the foundations: how to manage stress, regulate self-talk, and build mental resilience. Here's what I see over and over again, though: telling yourself, "I'm doing the right things. I've built the foundation, so why does it still feel off?" That's normal, you know. This episode is about managing expectations, retraining your brain, and actually experiencing progress instead of just chasing it. It's not about lowering the bar. It's about changing how you experience success, how to feel you are enough. By the end of this episode, we're covering why your brain always craves more, keeping it science-backed, how to actually stop the cycle of "I'm never enough" thinking, and practical strategies to feel enough now without sacrificing your drive. Let's be real. If you don't learn how to experience progress now, you'll keep chasing success without ever feeling it. If you've ever felt like no matter how much you do, it's still not enough, let's talk about where that belief comes from. For so many of us, it's not just internal pressure. It's cultural, generational, and deeply ingrained. Maybe you grew up in a family where achievement was expected: good grades, a respectable career, always doing more. Maybe your culture emphasizes hard work above all else, so resting, feeling satisfied, or celebrating wins feels lazy. Maybe you constantly compare yourself to your parents, your siblings, your peers, and it feels like no matter what you do, you're never catching up. These expectations from our environment shape how we see success. And if we don't actively question them, we'll spend our whole lives feeling like we haven't done enough, even when we have. Let's break this down physiologically, because there's a biological reason why we feel this way. First, anticipation feels better than arrival or outcome. Studies show that our brains release dopamine, the motivation chemical, when we work toward a goal, not just when we achieve it. Think about planning a vacation. The excitement is in the booking, the flights, imagining the trip, researching places to go. But when you're actually there, the high fades quickly. That's because your brain was getting dopamine from the anticipation, not the event itself. Next, we adapt faster than we expect. That's hedonic adaptation. A study found that lottery winners return to baseline happiness within a year, just within a year. Why is that? It's because we adjust quickly. The new house, the promotion, the life milestone, it all starts to feel normal faster than we expect. If we don't pause to recognize progress, we'll always feel behind. Last, remember that your nervous system needs breathing room. It needs to recalibrate. If you never stop to recover, your body stays in a heightened stress state, leading to exhaustion, decision fatigue, and burnout. Think of it like running up a hill without stopping. If you don't pause to catch your breath, you'll burn out before you even reach the top. Okay, how do we actually fix this? This isn't about lowering your standards or abandoning your ambitions. It's about retraining your brain to see progress differently. Let's look at 4 simple strategies. Number 1, train your brain to recognize wins. A Harvard study found that acknowledging small wins daily enhances motivation and fulfillment. You can try this. At the end of the day, write down 3 things you accomplished, no matter how small. Your brain needs proof that progress is happening. Number 2, shift your self-talk. Instead of asking, "What's next?" ask, "What did I learn from this?" If you're always skipping over your own success, you'll never feel like you're growing even when you are. I will say this over and over again. The way you talk to yourself matters so much. Number 3, monthly reflection check-in. Take 10 minutes once a month to reflect. What are the 3 things you're proud of? What have you learned recently? How have you grown in the past 6 months? If you don't acknowledge progress, your brain will convince that you're failing, even when you're thriving, making lots of progress, and growing. Here's a pro tip from my routine. I have a daily gratitude practice and weekly reflections. This approach allows me to make timely adjustments to my mindset rather than waiting until the end of the month to process everything. Time is too valuable to let unproductive and self-sabotaging thoughts take over practice. Number 4, challenge the not enough voice with evidence. When the thought "I should be further along" pops up, interrupt it. Ask, what proof do I have that I'm actually behind? Would I say this to my best friend? If my younger self could see me now, what would they say? Sometimes you just have to fact check your own mind. Here's a helpful reflection exercise. Imagine your 5-year-old self seeing where you are right now. Would they say you're not enough? Or would they be amazed at what you've accomplished? Now flip it. Imagine you're 90 years old, looking back at your present self. Would you want them to remember rushing through life or appreciating the process? If you want more homework to drive this episode's message home today, write down 5 things you're proud of from the past year, and please do take it in. Really experience that pride. It builds your self-esteem and lifts up your mood. That's a powerful way to neutralize those not good enough thoughts with confidence. And they're so good to energize you to keep striving high and have fun. If this episode spoke to you, send it to someone who needs to hear it. Starting with the idea of "I am enough" sets a solid foundation, and confidence helps take you even higher. It's important to remember that confidence isn't something we're just born with. It doesn't mean we have to feel completely ready all the time. So in next week's episode, we're diving deep into confidence, exploring how to take action even when doubts creep in, how to steer clear of overthinking, and how to start living your ideal self with confidence. Just imagine the confidence you've always wanted. What wonderful things could it bring to your life? Thank you for sharing your time with me today. I'm so excited for the rest of this season. See you next week.